Thank you for being here. My name is Steph. This is my YouTube channel, and behind me you can see my happy place. So as you can probably hear, it is raining here in Bedfordshire in the UK, and it pretty much has been for the entire month of May thus far. I'm sure the garden is loving it. The gardener, not so much. The gardener is raring to go and would like to get out there and pot things. So the garden and gardening in general is pretty new to me. This is my first grow season in my new space, and I'm really into the cottage style aesthetic. So I want to cram everything in here, and I'm looking for edible, medicinal, magical, whimsical. These are the 4 components. I have very little experience. I had a vegetable patch many moons ago. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't have any real plans. It was just something that I was doing alongside my everyday life. So in today's video, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my YouTube education, but specifically I wanted to talk about my YouTube friends, teachers, mentors, the people who have inspired much of what I'm doing here and teach me on a daily basis. I have been here on YouTube for a long time, almost a decade. I've had a channel that I might link for you. I'll link it in case you're curious. And I've been producing content for absolutely ages. This is what I have done with my life, actually. Video editing is what I've been doing as an adult to make ends meet, to make my money, and just because it's a massive passion of mine and I love it. Maybe it's because I have been making videos for a really long time that means I fully appreciate the energy and the effort that is poured into creating these channels of ours on YouTube and the things that we're sharing with one another. The beautiful thing about YouTube that I really love is that it can facilitate an awful lot of learning. It can really prove to be an integral part of one's education. Content that I feel like is educating me, that's just giving me this knowledge that I need to have my dream manifest and to see this project succeed. That is worth its weight in gold. For me, it's just so invaluable. And so I have a lot of admiration and respect for the people that I'm about to mention in this next video. I've been wanting to make this video for the longest time. As I said, I think of these people almost as my friends. Now, I should just put a massive disclaimer out there. These people do not know me. I do not know them in person. We haven't had any communication and we're not like real friends. However, I'm pretty emotionally invested in the stories and the experience and the wisdom that they share with me. So I feel like they're my friends, you know. People really start to share parts of their lives with you. You can't help but feel like emotionally connected to those people in some way or another. And I'm super grateful for that sense of connection also, because, well, I don't need to tell you that it's been a weird couple of years now, and there's been points where I have felt so incredibly lonely, and these people who are passionate about the thing that has really like tied itself around my heart of late, they just feed my soul and provide me with such a lot of nourishment. So these are green-fingered people whose practices and channels and content really particularly resonates with me. But I would love for you to let me know who your favourite gardening YouTubers are, who are your favourite green-fingered people, or which channels do you watch on a regular basis. I'd love to have more opened up to me. And if you yourself have a YouTube channel, please do link it below. I will, for one, check it out, and then hopefully anybody else that reads it will check it out, and that will be lovely, won't it? Wouldn't that be lovely? Let's get cracking then. We're gonna start with a gardener who is on the other side of the globe to me in New South Wales in Australia. New South Wales in Australia? I hope it's New South Wales. It could just be Australia. Anyway, he's over in Australia. The channel that I'm referring to is the Weedy Garden. I first stumbled upon this channel maybe about 6 months ago, when I was right at the very beginning of the planning in my mind's eye what I wanted to do with this space. And the Weedy Garden, the videos on this channel are incredibly magic. I mean, if you want to talk about the magic of the garden, nobody captures this, the essence of it, such like the Weedy gardener himself. I love this guy. His energy and creativity just spills through the screen, and the videos that he has made have been absolutely epic. They appeal to me also in the sense that he is also a storyteller. This guy started out as a photographer, and then at the beginning of lockdown he built himself a garden, and he used all of that photography and storytelling expertise, cameras and equipment and stuff to capture the essence and the magic of the garden and document what he was doing. The Weedy Garden channel taught me pretty much everything that I needed to know about the importance of micro tiny things in the soil, the life in the earth that needs to be sustained in order for us to grow healthy veggies, healthy fruits, healthy salads, so that we can eat that healthy food and become, you know, nourished the way that nature intended. And so I started to learn about the importance of keeping the soil healthy. The Weedy Garden's videos, not only are they so beautiful, I mean, regularly make me cry, bring me to tears all the time, because I just feel like he speaks such a lot of truth in his storytelling, and he uses a lot of time-lapse photography and clever things, you know, to really, like, it's just a feast. It's a feast for all of your senses, you know. So I highly recommend checking out. I believe his name is David. I hope so. I just think of him as the Weedy gardener, the man with the beard, who's got such a beautiful soul. And yeah, like his work I think is incredible. So yeah. The second sweet soul who I feel like I just owe an awful lot of my gardening education to is Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm. That's the channel here on YouTube. Jess and her sweet Maya and their beautiful children live in Arkansas, so again miles away from where I am, but they have their grow season is in sync with ours. So and she's like maybe 4 weeks ahead of me in terms of temperatures and things, which is ideal because it means that whatever they're putting into their garden, I know that I'm likely to be doing that soon, and so I can pick up all the top tips. And I've learned so much from Jess at Roots and Refuge. I mean, not only are the family just delightful, but they also they work really hard, and they have done an awful lot with the land that they have there. And I'm so inspired. They run a homestead, so obviously it's quite different to where I'm at with my little garden in Bedfordshire, my medium-sized garden, but we'll get there. And at various points in my life I have had, I kept chickens and ducks, and I've incubated eggs and raised waterfowl and had a small holding and been around animals, and I love this. I live for this kind of life, the simple agricultural country life, you know, this is my thing. So I feel super inspired and motivated when I'm watching their videos, and not only do they provide me with an immense education, so much so that I purchased one of their t-shirts from their website the other night because I felt like I wanted to give back, you know. I'm so grateful, so I wanted to give back. And I think it's important that we do that, you know, that we focus on the things that we really love on this planet. But not only have they given me that education, but they also provide me with such a lot of inspiration. And they remind me to continue to dream. They remind me to stay focused on my dreams. I find Jess's enthusiasm for her garden and her passion for it is like mine, you know, it's how I feel. So it really resonates. The third person I'd like to mention in this video is indeed here in the UK, although I believe she is in Kent, and that's Alexandra of the Middle-Sized Garden. Her content is just such a great example of fantastic, passionate, enthusiastic, helpful content. She talks about her own garden, but she will interview other gardeners, and she will just bring in a wealth of knowledge and information from so many different sources. She really knows her stuff, and she's really passionate about other people's gardens too. I mean, her content inspires me to want to go and visit gardens locally and to take in the different designs and really think about the use of space. A lot of Alexandra's content is aimed towards those with a small patch of land like mine, or a middle-sized patch of land. Of course, that encompasses so many different styles and designs and so many different methods and strategies and techniques for gardening and keeping your outdoor space the way that you want it. And Alexandra, I just really feel her passion and her commitment and dedication. And again, I'm super grateful. I'm so grateful for people like her who take this time to bring this information together and present it to others. Amazing, amazing. The kind of concept that I'd like to adopt here in my garden, in my happy space, is permaculture, polyculture. The idea of just growing it all together in the same space and letting the diversity of the plants complement one another and take care of one another. I guess this approach is like a back to Eden kind of approach. This approach, permaculture and polyculture, they don't seem to be as popular as I thought that they would be. And so because I haven't been able to find too many examples of what I'm trying to achieve, I tend to find that the content that I'm watching on YouTube is kind of split into two categories. You have the gardeners who have their gardens at home, the backyard garden, which is what I have essentially, and then you have those who have allotment plots. And in the UK, having an allotment plot, I don't know what it's like in various parts of the world, but allotment plots have been a thing for a long time, probably since around the time of the Second World War. Much of the land was given up for growing and it was necessary. The government even had a campaign, a scheme at the time called Dig for Victory. And so the popularity of allotments and allotment keeping just really grew in this period. See, one thing I'm really interested in is the history of gardening, but I'll share that with you at a later date. So yeah, in the UK, having an allotment is very popular. And I've had an allotment plot. In fact, I've had two, and neither of them were successful. The first one was when my children were probably too young to be left unsupervised, but also old enough to complain all the time about going to the allotment, and so it was too much like hard work trying to drag the kids, and I needed to, and you know, that was that. And the second time I got quite unwell, and that's when my health problems started to occur, so that didn't work out either. But I still love the allotments and I still visit my local allotments. For years, my bedroom window overlooked the allotment, so I got to see them changing throughout the seasons, and I just think it's such a beautiful thing. So I'm really interested in those people with allotments, and I think there's a lot of experience and skill to be had there, and I love the more communal kind of aspect of having a plot that's next to somebody else's plot that's next to somebody else's plot, and you know that you're all there because you love what you're doing, working with nature, growing your own food. It's magical. So there are a couple of people on my list today who have allotment plots. Now the first one would be Emma Bailey of Emma's Allotment Diaries. She keeps a video record of all the different things that she's doing on her allotment, and she's in her second grow year. So I'm a year behind and again, I like that because I'm learning such a lot from the things that Emma did last year that she tells us about, and the things that we can see on her plot. Emma grows the usual kind of veggies, similar to the ones that I intend on growing, and also some beautiful flowers. but I particularly like her style and her humour and her approach. She's just very authentic and real, and I really appreciate it. She provides me with a lot of amusement and entertainment. Another thing that I love about Emma's Allotment Diaries is that she is documenting, much like I, on a very frequent, regular basis, which is like catching up with a friend. Emma is in London also, so London isn't too far from me, which means that she might be about a week ahead in terms of temperatures. But I don't know, but roughly about the same. And as I said, there are a few Allotmenteers that I follow, and another one who I find exceptionally skilled and talented and knowledgeable is, and funny, really funny actually, is Jessie from Plot 37. Jessie at Plot 37. Plot 37 is an allotment, also in London, I believe. Yeah, so I think it's another London allotment. And Jessie and her mum take care of this plot of land, and they do so beautifully. They grow a lot of vegetables, they have a pond, they have chickens, they do a lot. And again, I find Jessie extremely knowledgeable. The quality of her videos is also ace, just really great. She includes lots of different types of footage, so she'll do the sit down talky footage and also the montage with the narration footage, and put bits and pieces. So from an editing perspective, and as I said, I've been at this for years, I really enjoy how she tells the stories and puts together vlogs. And Jessie does more of a weekly vlog, so you have I think she does 2 videos a week, but one of those will be a weekly vlog, and that weekly vlog, as I said, I just really enjoy the editing in that. And the final channel that I decided to put on this list that I really love watching, which is so peaceful and tranquil, is Colette from Bealtaine Cottage, Bealtaine. Now she is in Ireland and thus has the most beautiful Irish accent, and I don't know whether her pronunciation of her channel name is to do with her accent, so whether if I do it, it's going to sound like I'm trying to do it in a beautiful Irish accent. But Bealtaine, she says Bealtaine. Anyway, Bealtaine Cottage. This has been a project that Colette has been working on pretty much solo for a really long time, for 17 years, I believe. And she has acres of land in Ireland, in the west of Ireland, I believe. And what she's done there is just absolutely incredible. She does follow the permaculture, polyculture approach, the back to Eden approach, and also has a real, I would say she was a green witch. So she's a woman after my own heart, and she has a real spiritual connection with her earth and spiritual awareness about the patch of earth and what she's doing there. And that really resonates with me. It really resonates with me. She has Goddess Gardens, and it's a healing venture, and that's exactly what I am trying to accomplish here. I believe that I'm working with the spirits of the garden, and it's magical. It's really magical. And Colette's videos, where she'll just wander around the garden and she'll just show you just how beautiful nature really is, and when it all works harmoniously and things support other things. And she has trees, she has acres of woodland and vegetable gardens, and she plants a lot and works a lot with the creatures that come into the garden. And that again is pretty magical for me, because I feel a little bit like Snow White out here with my flock of birds that come regularly. I'm starting to recognize them, and we're becoming friends, so it's really ace. That was just a handful of YouTube gardening friends and mentors and teachers whom I love, who I've been really watching religiously. Sometimes I'll search to see if they've released new content yet, because I just need my little fix. And yeah, but of course there are billions of us out there. There are so many people who are in love with this and willing to share that love and that passion and those skills. Not only willing to share that, but almost driven, compelled to share that information. So I'm super grateful, but I'm grateful to anybody who is creating like this and putting it out there. How amazing that we can learn from one another. So I think that's incredible. I have selected my favourite videos from all of these channels and the content creators that I've mentioned in today's video and compiled a playlist. So should you want to check them out, you can do so easily. I will link the playlist in the description below and pop it on the end screen too, so you can just click it and watch all the videos through. And as I said at the beginning, any recommendations you have for great gardening channels or content that you just really, really enjoy, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about what it does for you, and if you can link people, the more the merrier. That would be wonderful. So thank you so much for joining me today. Do stick around if you'd like to see how my own project unfolds. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to stick around, and I'll catch you in my next episode.